Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. At least 12 US troops were injured when Iran launched missiles and drones at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. 2 personnel were seriously hurt and 10 others sustained concussions. Several US refueling aircraft were damaged in the strike. The attack came hours after Israeli airstrikes targeted Iranian nuclear sites and forms part of Iran's ongoing Operation Promise Sadiq 4, which also struck US forces in Dubai and Kuwait. The escalation adds to previous losses, including 7 Army reservists killed in a drone attack in Kuwait and 6 airmen in an Iraq KC-135 crash. Over 300 US service members have been wounded since the conflict began. Israel struck multiple Iranian nuclear and industrial sites on Friday, including a uranium processing facility in Yazd, the Kondab heavy water complex, and 2 major steel plants. 18 people were killed in Qom, while Iran reported no radiation leaks. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi vowed retaliation, saying they will pay a heavy price. Analysts warn the strikes are hitting civilians, damaging infrastructure, and worsening humanitarian conditions, with global food insecurity expected to rise. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Washington can achieve its objectives against Iran within weeks without deploying ground troops. Rubio also addressed rising violence by Israeli settlers in the West Bank, noting UN estimates of over 1,000 Palestinian deaths since October 2023. He said the US has expressed concern and suggested Israel may act to curb the attacks. He also warns that any move by Tehran to impose tolls in the Strait of Hormuz would be illegal and dangerous. Tiger Woods arrested on a driving under the influence (DUI) charge after his Land Rover rolled onto its side while overtaking a work truck near his Jupiter Island, Florida home. The 50-year-old 15-time major champion crawled out of the vehicle uninjured. A breathalyzer showed no alcohol, with authorities suspecting drugs or medication. Woods refused a urine test, which carries a separate charge under Florida law. No one else was injured in the crash. Iran's UN envoy Amir Saeed Iravani has raised alarm at the United Nations over reports that senior officials were listed as assassination targets by the US and Israel. In a letter to the United Nations Security Council, he named Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, warning the threat appears real. Iravani called it a violation of international law as the reports emerge alongside ongoing negotiations. Russian President Vladimir Putin says his country's relations with Europe are in crisis, but insists Moscow is not responsible. Speaking at a weekly Security Council meeting, he rejected claims linking the breakdown to the war in Ukraine, blaming past US policy and European support for political change in Kyiv. Putin said Russia has not abandoned ties with European nations and remains open to restoring relations with the European Union, despite ongoing tensions. US President Donald Trump has claimed that Iran allowed 10 oil tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, describing the move as a present that signals progress in ongoing indirect negotiations between the two sides. Speaking during a White House cabinet meeting, Trump said Iran initially offered to allow 8 oil tankers through the strategic waterway as a show of sincerity. He added that the number eventually increased to 10 vessels after Iran reportedly sent 2 additional tankers as an apology over earlier remarks. Trump claimed that some of the tankers were Pakistani flagged. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says the Strait of Hormuz is now closed, warning that any shipping linked to allies of the US and Israel will face harsh measures. State media reports the IRGC has banned transit to and from ports seen as supporting Washington and Tel Aviv, escalating pressure on one of the world's most critical oil routes. At least 3 container ships of different nationalities were reportedly turned back after receiving warnings from Iran's naval forces, signaling immediate impact on maritime traffic in the region. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.